Hello everybody, thanks for joining me for my way overdue event report update from Dreamforce 2017, which happened last week in, of course, San Francisco. It was the usual huge Lollapalooza. If you listen carefully, you could hear how the marketing budgets of both Salesforce as the vendor and of all these many partners were slowly sifting through the air. You could smell or hear the sound of dollars being burned, hopefully to good return. Speaking to some of the partners on the tour, they said it's the event to be, of course, and the event to spend. So significantly spending in the overall ecosystem. Hopefully people got the return. Salesforce claimed over 170,000 people attending Dreamforce. Hard to believe from what I saw, but I mean, definitely a busy event, a successful event. What are the top 4 takeaways, and then some more tidbits from my side? Salesforce discovers personalization is the first one. This is why I call it my oh my. My is literally in front of anything that's important at Salesforce right now. And those my's are, of course, my Trailhead, my Einstein, because we're in the age of AI, my Lightning and my Salesforce and my IoT. Everything which is high-end buzzy got my in front, of course, Salesforce for the admin experience. Lightning, obviously, the developer experience. IoT, hopefully Andy Mulholland will cover that from his side, what it means from IoT's perspective. I think my colleague Doug Henshin has written about my Einstein already. Einstein, as some people they call it, but the man calls himself Einstein. That's how you want to call it, really. So how can you personalize and democratize AI? Interesting from the developer part. For me, Lightning, very interesting. Lots of additional Lightning component, lots of improved developer experience in general. That was one of the key directions of the developer keynote, which I had to understand. Help on the integration side is coming there. Significant new advancement for Salesforce side. And remember, Trailhead DX just came out summer of this year as an overall approach to making the Salesforce environment more developer standard environment. More things have to come, more things are coming around DevOps as an example. In winter 18 for Salesforce DX, improved packaging is coming. Take customer environment configuration over and get more tools than ever before based on new standards, like as in part looked at the keynote with Srinivas Talapagada and Wade Wigner. They all did a good job showing a demo how that was configured and set up. Definitely a positive from that perspective. The other big news after the whole my part is, of course, and I think this will be the most lasting one, is a partnership with Google. Quite surprising, as Salesforce in spring this year, wrote blog post announced its partnership with AWS. Also, previous to Dreamforce released a press release saying how they are live on AWS in Australia. But the big news here was at Dreamforce that going forward for its international expansion, not sure what Australia is, if it's international or not, Salesforce will utilize Google going forward. And there's lots of overlaps because Google means many things, not just infrastructure as a service. Just to touch base with that, it means integration with G Suite. Look what my colleague Al Lipovsky has been showing in that regards, especially also with the Quip capabilities, which get kind of like elevated after the acquisition last year, which was like hush, but now it is right. Very important from future of work, productivity. Check what Alan has in store from that. It also means integration with adverbs, right? Important. Google, the leading online advertiser. People want to see what's the return of their marketing dollars, how effective are the campaigns, both in Salesforce Marketing Cloud and in Sales Cloud from a lead generation perspective. A no-brainer part. I'm surprised it hasn't been happening before. Also, some people who've been long around, right? 2008, there was already a partnership announcement between Google and Salesforce around the integration of Gmail. So nothing is really new. What comes around goes around. But really, I think the longer-lasting one is, and surprising, because Salesforce just settled on AWS to a certain point. I thought from the outside, everybody has to start somewhere. The partnership on Google Cloud, but also the one which was the most hush, not much shared from that perspective. Good news, I think, in general for Salesforce customers, because you must have multiple IaaS as available. None of them has the presence and capabilities that everybody wants. So good that Salesforce has discovered portability going beyond Oracle, which was the big news this summer, to run on public cloud infrastructure. They now can do that in Google too. So more to learn in 2018. Developer tooling, mentioned that already before, wrote my lightning as I lost a little bit my train of thought here. Dynamic pages was even announced in the keynote. The big news surprise to me was that you couldn't do that in Salesforce until now, but it's good, better be late than never. And then back from my perspective, bringing together not just platforms developers, but also future of work from an HCM perspective. The Trailhead announcement, the My Trailhead, of course, announcement, is pretty much a learning system, and Salesforce is not shy of not talking it up as a learning system. It consists of 4 key modules. Trail Maker, surprisingly, make the content. The trail is the content. Trail Profile is the wanderer, if you want, on the trail. That's the employee who's taking the audience of taking courses. And then it really gets funny because it's Trailhead Mixer. Trail mixes, like the food, can be arranged as learning paths, learning content, fed to people on the trail. And then last but not least, without a trail tracker, which is exactly what it is, what it sounds, right? It tracks where you are, a gamified experience from a learning perspective. All of that will come out in the first half of 2018, so we're still in early phases. Pricing hasn't been established. System has not really been up and running, but it's good to see for Salesforce looking into getting more into the knowledge economy. So overall, I think interesting. Many attempts for Salesforce have been done and not really gone far to get in the HCM area. There were many things in the past. Check my blog. Let's see if this one goes much better. It has some home code advantage because the Salesforce ecosystem needs to get educated. Salesforce shared some interesting numbers on that from perspective that impact study, right? Apart from generating 850 billion of new business, and next, I believe, was 10 years to create 3.3 million new jobs. All those people have to learn how to use Salesforce, so that's definitely Trailhead home code advantage from that. Now, if you can use it for more, it's always good to reuse and re-leverage software, so no question that. Last but not least, the new App Exchange. App Exchange's marketplaces are very important to help ecosystems to grow, to help developers monetize what they've built, to help enterprise to look and shop for new solutions throughout the classic enterprise software process of an RFP, selection and demonstration and negotiation, which takes 6 to 9 months, but just try things out directly. So good to see that Salesforce is upgrading its App Exchange capability from that. So overall, my point of view, good progress, but sales is moving really slowly. I think things should have been going faster and better in general. But if you look behind the scenes, behind the news that Salesforce is really replatforming on not just an independent Oracle future in regards of AWS, but also of Google. It has to rebuild capabilities around big data, rebuild capabilities or create capabilities around artificial intelligence. One of the key attractions, as we know, of the Google platform is machine learning with TensorFlow. Nothing was specifically announced to that, but we know what the master plan of Diane Green and Google on the other side is. So I'm sure that has been shared and has not been escaped to Mark Benioff and the Salesforce people. So little desire to build more functionality until that's done. The reason for that is you don't want to make what you have to rebuild, support, bring to the new platform even more work than ever. But of course, you don't tell customers in the meantime, and that's what's really going on. Positive on the My Trailhead learning capabilities. Great to see Salesforce not only doing developer stuff and platform stuff, but also future of work stuff on the HCM side. Who's positive on this? And then the personalization, my most popular tweet on Dreamforce last week was My is not a long-term enterprise software strategy. Anybody who's been long enough in the industry will remember SAP tried that in the late 90s with My SAP. Didn't last for too long. Well, maybe Salesforce will prove that wrong, and the My Einstein, My Trailhead, My IoT, My Lightning, and I'm missing one, will be a lasting branding atmosphere. One last thought. I think the trailhead thing with all the animals and the forests and so on, of course, now gets even more prominence. But I'm taking bets right now that will not last forever, because you have to come up with some new ideas how to package and manage things, and all mascots get a little tired over time. And I'm not sure if the comic figures and the trailer paradigm is really gelling with the professional business customer buying enterprise software. But that's just my view on this. Would love to hear yours. Please share it. Thanks for watching. This was way too long. Greetings from Las Vegas. Thanks for watching. This is Holger Mueller from Constellation Research. Follow me on Twitter at HOLGRMU, also here on the bottom, and on this side on the bottom. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.